Podcasting from Domino Park in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, good morning. At least it's good morning for me. Whenever you guys choose to listen to this in the morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, late at night, or whenever, I always appreciate the looks, the likes, the listens, and I always would definitely appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. But do that if you want to. I'm going to talk about saturation today. Saturation, the definition of that is basically when something is absorbed with a substance to the point where it just can't take any more. When it's filled to the brim and then that's it. Take, for instance, a sponge. The sponge that you guys may use in your kitchen, bathroom, washing your cars, whatever it is, you get the idea. I'm pretty sure most of you know what a sponge is. One of the qualities of most sponges that we use around the household, that we use it usually with water, cleaning fluids and stuff. And these things is a good example to understand what saturation is. When a lot of water gets into the sponge and it gets to the point where it just can't contain any more because it absorbs water. It spills out. It just spills out. I can't take any more. It's going to roll off of me, spill off of me, whatever it is, until you squeeze it out and it's pretty much almost dry again until you put it back into the water again. So you get the idea of what saturation is, the really quick gist of it. There's so much things that we are saturated with. So much things that we are saturated spiritually with, mentally with, emotionally with. When we have so much of it, it starts to spill out into our actions, into our words, into our deeds, into who our character is, who we are, basically. So, of course, naturally, my question is, what are you saturated with? I know a lot of people are saturated with grief. I know so many people are saturated with a lot of bad things, disappointing things that are just there to drag your spirit down and your mindset down. I understand. I get that. But then you have to look at, okay, if that's what you're putting out, if that's what you feel that you're only getting in, you have to make sure that whatever source that you're getting filled up with, you got to change that. Are you getting saturated with the wrong kinds of things? Are you only seeking out the wrong kinds of things? I get it. Things happen. Things happen to people. Bad things happen to people. Disappointing things happen to people. Negative things happens to people. It happens. Happens to me, happens to you guys listening, happens to people who you know right now. But what are you actually exposing yourself to? See, like I said with the sponge, good analogy, when we put it around water, put it in water, put enough water or whatever fluids that we use it for, it gets to the point where it's saturated pretty quick because we usually use a lot more water than the sponge can handle. That could be exactly what's going on with you. Are you listening to the right things? And you have to start with listening to the right things around yourself, the right thing that's in your heart, the right thing that's in your head. Because a lot of people have plenty of opportunities to, as they say, make lemonade out of lemons. Are you actually trying to make the best of your situation? Are you trying to look past certain things? Even though certain things may happen that may have a negative impact on you, you could feel it. No one's saying to not feel angry. No one's not saying to not feel disappointed. No one's not saying to feel any kind of negative things, but you can't stay there. You can't stay there. The more you stay there, the more you circulate these things in your head. The more you circulate these things in your head, the more it's going to affect you. Yes, spiritually and physically as well. But you could always change that. We could always change that. I can always change that. I try my best to try it with myself with a lot of things. You better believe that a lot of things negative comes across my mind. A lot of negative things come across my feelings, but I can't stay there. I have to go forward and do what I do, not just hear what you guys are hearing right now or seeing on my YouTube channel or my website. It's so many other things that I do. Because I want to better myself. And hopefully by me bettering myself, I help to better other people as well. That's one way that I can have a takeaway from that. You may have something different of how you deal with certain things, but you're going to have to start with filling yourself with the right things, because once you take in a whole lot of something, you're going to get saturated with it, and this is all your being is about. And then you're going to start spilling over to everything you do, and everything that you do affects other people. And if what you're doing, what you're taking in starts to spill out, it's going to spill out to everything and everyone around you. So we have to understand and get the fact that, yes, what we do, what we listen to, what we watch, the company that we keep around us, the kind of thoughts that we keep in our heads, this saturates us, saturates our characters. This definitely molds us into whatever it is that we may be tomorrow, next year, Father willing, however long He decides to keep us breathing on this earth. But you have to make sure that whatever source that you have has positive impacts. Sure, you could take bad things into good, but you're going to have to definitely watch what you do. If you're spiritually saturated, if you're saturated with anything in the wrong manner, you have to look to either manage it properly, change what you're getting filled with, or, change your location, whatever the case is. But it's really up to you, because you could be in the best of situations and the best building. You could have the best career. You could have one of the best outlooks, basically, well, not best outlooks, the best situation that most people wish that they were in. And you could be sour. And all you do is saturate yourself with negative things. Meanwhile, you have someone who hardly has anything. They're probably struggling to pay for certain things, or they may not have anywhere that they can call their own yet. At the same time, they're positive. They're saturated with the right things, and then they saturate themselves with the proper things, and whatever spills out of them spills out to other people, which is positive stuff. But anyways, I see this train about to come, and I'm about to wrap it up anyways, but I'm very certain you can still hear me pretty clear. So you can catch the rest of my content on my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can also catch more of my production on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. You can catch me on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley on the professional tip. I'm also on Instagram, and I am on Facebook. You can listen to my audio podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes Play Store, and Amazon Music under podcast. I am also on Brooklyn Cable Television. I am on Tuesdays and Thursdays, both at 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. So I broadcast 4 times a week, yo. Still have to remember these channels, but I'm posted on the video for you guys who are listening. I am on Verizon, RCN, Spectrum, and Optimum. I hope you guys were blessed with what I had to say. Thank you very much for listening. You will hear from me next week. I want you guys to walk good. I'm out.